All eyes are on Hollywood tonight for the 90th Annual Academy Awards. So who will take home the gold? Here with some predictions on who will win this evening is Christian Blauvelt, Deputy Editor, BBC Culture. Welcome back.
It's so good to be back and talking Oscars with you.
We're going to talk about some of the biggest categories, but first, though, let me ask you, what is an overarching theme that you found with the films this year?
These are a lot of dark films this year, I have to say, and also films that, not a lot of people have actually seen. All 9 of the Best Picture nominees cumulatively grossed less than Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
Cumulative, all together.
All together, all 9. So, I mean, the biggest hit here was Get Out. That's the only one I think we could really call a blockbuster.
You're getting ahead of ourselves. We're going to talk about Best Picture in a second.
We will.
We'll get to that in just a second. Let's start, though, with Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah,
You're going to give us your picks. These are the nominees: Mary J. Blige, Allison Janney, Leslie Manville, Laurie Metcalf, and Octavia Spencer.
And I think this is going to be Allison Janney and I, Tonya. She plays Tonya Harding's mother. She is about as terrible a parent as you can imagine. She is such a villain, but she's kind of the villain that the Academy really likes. She's snarky, she's scenery chewing, she's scene stealing, and I think she's going to take home the gold.
Let's talk about Best Supporting Actor: Willem Dafoe, Woody Harrelson, Richard Jenkins, Christopher Plummer, and Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be Sam Rockwell in 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. A lot of controversy surrounding this role. He plays a racist cop who tries to go on a journey of redemption by helping a mom, played by Frances McDormand, find justice for her murdered daughter. I don't really find his redemption arc all that convincing, and a lot of other people really haven't either, but he's won the Golden Globe and the Screen Actors
Why do you
Guild
think
Award.
that?
I think we learn that he's done such terrible things himself in the past. I mean, he's tortured people, he's all this, and yet just because he helps Frances McDormand, we're supposed to think that all is forgiven. Yeah, and that he's really changed, and I don't buy it.
You really prefer Willem Dafoe, but you think that Sam Rockwell is going to win it.
I so wish Willem Dafoe could win for the Florida Project, but he's not, I'm afraid.
Okay. Lead actor: Timothée Chalamet. These are the nominees: Daniel Day-Lewis in Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya in Get Out, Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour, Denzel Washington.
Yeah, so we went from a couple of dark roles to now Darkest Hour, because I think Gary Oldman is going to win Best Actor here. He plays Winston Churchill in the early days of World War II. It's a really inspiring performance. This was at a time when it wasn't clear that the Allies were actually going to defeat Nazi Germany. It's taking place concurrently with the events of Dunkirk, and just amazing transformation that he goes through here. Look for this film to win Best Makeup as well.
Oh, interesting.
He's unrecognizable.
Best Actress, Lead Actress. Let's look at the nominees in this category. Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water, Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards, Margot Robbie in I, Tonya, Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep in The Post. Who do you think, Christian?
I think this is going to be Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards. Everyone loved her as Marge Gunderson in Fargo back in the 90s. She won Best Actress then for that role. I think she's going to pick up her 2nd award for 3 Billboards.
Best Director. Let's look at the nominees. Before we get ahead, let's look at the nominees. You want to just say, I know. Dunkirk, Christopher Nolan, Get Out, Jordan Peele, Lady Bird, Greta Gerwig, Phantom Thread, Paul Thomas Anderson, and The Shape of Water, Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, and I think this is going to be Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. The Shape of Water is actually the most nominated film tonight. It's up for 13 awards, and he's also nominated for Best Original Screenplay and for Best Picture as a producer. This is his first Best Director nomination, and he's someone who has a lot of goodwill in Hollywood. He makes blockbusters like the Hellboy movies and Pacific Rim. He makes small art house films like The Devil's Backbone and Pacific Rim. A lot of people think Shape of Water is his best movie. All
right, and then last but not least, Best Picture.
I think this is going to, oh my God.
Let's look at the nominees. There's several of them.
There are 9.
I know. Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards.
And I think this is going to be Get Out.
Okay, really?
Yeah, I really do. All right, admittedly, Get Out has not won any of the major prizes going into the Oscars. So this is kind of, a bold prediction. But I keep hearing that within the Academy, there's a lot of love for this film. It's also the only film out of the 9 that I feel like was really a talking point last year, a conversation starter. But the only one that could really be called a phenomenon. It's a horror movie. It's a really funny comedy about relationships. It's a satire about race. It's full of social commentary. There's a lot to unpack in that film. And I think when all is said and done, it's going to walk away with Best Best Picture.
And reportedly, the two people who are going to be announcing the Best Picture winner.
Oh, yeah. Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. Oh,
Remind, in case people have forgotten, remind them what happened last year.
It was the envelope mishap heard around the world. Oh, my gosh. So the accountants at PricewaterhouseCoopers gave Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway the wrong envelope. They thought it was for Best Picture. And so when Faye read it, she said La La Land. And so like for 30 seconds, we thought it was actually Moonlight that won. So embarrassing. But you really felt badly for Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway. It wasn't their fault. So
they get a do-over, it looks like.
And they've been rehearsing it. So
hopefully it all goes well this year. So you said, just lastly, you said a lot of the public haven't seen a lot of these movies. If you could pick one for people to see, which one would you recommend?
The one I would pick is not one I mentioned before. I'd say Phantom Thread. That is my favorite of the Best Picture nominees. I absolutely love that film.
All right. Well, we look forward to watching tonight and seeing how well you do with your picks.
Oh, we'll see.
Christian, thank you for coming, and we always appreciate it. And we'll have more coming up on the Oscars after this.